So, a Nigerian man has shared a story of how his mother and his sisters, who had been feeding or taking care of them since he turned 21, turned against him immediately after he had issues with his job. According to him, it was a case of fraud at his place of work, and he was placed on suspension for 2 weeks. He said he returned home to live in the house he built for his family, but his once loving mother and sisters began to treat him differently when they appeared he couldn't fend for himself. Now, the reason why we're taking this story is because we've heard stories like this quite a bit, of where people seem to feel that the love they get from their loved ones or their siblings is mainly because of the kind of money they're making or the revenue they're bringing or the facilities they've been able to create for their family or the comfort they've been able to provide for their family. That's the only reason why many of their loved ones care for them. There's this popular Yoruba saying that, Olomaku, Ashinjelare. So it's because the only reason why, that's in English, Nima help me. Olomaku.
Rich man don't die, rich man don't die is because you are still rich enough to feed us.
Yes, that's the conversion.
Benefiting from you.
So, what are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 08107641679, 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Entertainment _. Please send your messages. We'd love to read your tweets. Okay, so this story was quite interesting because I was trying to be a bit more critical of the guy. I'm thinking to myself, okay, there was a fraud issue. Were you involved? What kind of a person are you? What's your character like? Are you involved in fraud? That your family, loved one already feel that you're a very suspicious person. So there are different angles to it. But what are your thoughts about the story he was trying to convey? That now that it seemed like I did not have any job, I was fired. The family now were beginning to treat me shabbily simply because they felt that I didn't have any more job. What are your thoughts on this? Let me start with Nima.
Okay, so of course we know with money and with responsibility comes honor. When a man is able to provide, is giving, they're always coming to him, you see respect. And so, sometimes some people will experience it when grief comes and you don't even see the same people that were always, maybe it was usually a crowded house. Suddenly you don't see those number of people again. They don't show up again. They also can't give. And so with it, I want to remember what BC said yesterday or the day before yesterday, comes that rest of mind. When you're receiving, you get that peace. So if something should trigger it, you look at the person like, what kind of rubbish mistake did you make that brought me this? Yeah. Because I don't know how to earn. I don't even want to be bothered. Yeah. And so men go through this. This story, I can relate completely. You know, they'll say, there's Olori Ebi, there's something. It's because, of course, when they come, they have a need, they meet him. And he cannot not say no. He cannot even try. He's always meeting it. But this man, sadly, tested it. He found out he's loved for what he can provide. Or, you know, he's loved for what he brings. People don't really love him for just for being their brother. And that's what is wrong when it happens in a family circle. So if a man is married to a woman and suddenly something tests what his provisions can be like, it doesn't mean that he's no longer the man. And if he's a brother as well, head of family, senior brother, younger brother, first son, firstborn, he shouldn't test those things. He should be honored as he would be honored. He should be respected as he would be respected. Or that family does not truly love him. This person narrated how even the mother.
But is it possible for a mother or sibling not to truly love? Maybe, so I'm trying to understand that story because I feel that there's probably more to it than he's telling us. So there are other parts of it because I find it hard to believe that your mother would, because of what you're not bringing, suddenly turn against you.
You have not met narcissistic mothers and narcissistic people. So there are people that naturally are selfish and the selfishness has gone so deep that it's now a problem. And so it cuts across how they relate to everybody around them. So it could be the husband, it could be the children, it could be the sisters, the brothers. And so for such people, you are only as relevant as what you can bring. Once that's your source stops and you're no longer able to bring, they just put you where they put every other person that is not bringing to them. There are people who naturally are disposed to appreciating people who they feel can help them. They greet people who they feel can help them. They appreciate people who they feel can help them. But once they see you in a light where you don't look like anything, you don't look like you can give me something meaningful to help me in my path or in my business or anything, there's a way they treat you, which is different from the way they treat someone who they believe they can gain from. And that happens everywhere. We see them in our families, we see them as friends, we see them as relations. It's just who they are, right? That's on one hand. Now, unfortunately, we have found ourselves here as a society. Back in the day, it used to be people who were educated that were so respected. If you come to a family, they're having family meetings, it's the one that is professor, or the one that is a lawyer, or the one that, let us hear lawyer now, allow barrister talk, allow doctor talk. You know, the respect is because of the knowledge. Human beings will always find something that would help them put people on a pedestal. That's how we define, you know, people as we move on and define and understand our societies. Right. But now, we are now gotten into a materialistic zone where it's no longer about, you can be speaking all the English, you're a lawyer, you're speaking all the English, there's nothing in your pocket, nobody will respect you. And unfortunately, some parents have also taken that in the way they relate to their children. So you hear parents who say, no, be your mates, buy car for a mama. No, be your mates, do this one for a mama. No, be your mate, do that one. When anything happens to any of the children and they are no longer able to provide, they will just push you. You become the scapegoat child.
Some situations where even families, where you have in a family where you have the lawyers who is probably doing okay, well, maybe it's slightly above average, you know, and another one who is into some kind of trade and is making a lot of money. So he's giving more regard because he's bringing in more resources. He's the one that's able to buy a car for mommy, to buy this. So the one that actually got the first class, the one that was actually studious, the one that was actually respected. You know how you have kids that want to so brilliant, and he ended up being a doctor and a lawyer, he's doing his own thing. But the other one that was very, very rough, rascally. Now making plenty money, has a house in Banana Island, traveling abroad.
Tell me, there's no decision you will take in that house without that one that is bringing all the...
So now the issues are the discrimination of that we raise these kids with. One is more brilliant. Today, people are being faced with, okay, who do we accord that respect to? The one that got a first class or the one that is bringing in the dough?
The mega box.
It's a lack of values that has played out in plenty other areas. It's about the lack of values that we are seeing the results. When you value money more than everything, this is the result you will get in Nigeria now. When you value money, that a corrupt person would, as long as Ishati Lowo is the song, then we'll see the results, which is what we're saying, that we are doing everything at all costs to make money. Where people are not accorded respect based on who they are, but about what they give. That's where we are. So I hear the guy, I hear a victim mentality, someone that is just wants to complain, but I also hear someone that is bitter, that I have made so much sacrifices. I've compromised on my value because, he lost his job because of something shady. So somebody compromised, I compromised on my value to provide for my family. And now that compromise is costing me. Like many politicians, by the grace of God, that are stealing Nigerian money that will end up in prison, that will be abandoned there. Because we have in this problem, because many people have decided that Nigeria is the cake they would cut and eat. And when they get the punishment, they should be abandoned. They should know they will be abandoned. Don't say that I made all these sacrifices, I stole this money, I did everything so I can take care of my family members, the next generation, and now life has happened, EFCC has caught me, and I'm left alone. So that's the situation we are in now. This guy said, I did everything to provide for my family members, I took care of them, and quote and unquote, I am now caught, I've lost my job based on whatever it is, and I'm left alone. You'll be left alone if there's anything.
You don't have the details.
There are different categories. I'm just using examples. Let me land. Okay. Number one, he doesn't have family that care about him. He has family that used him.
Yeah.
Number two, he obviously isn't taking responsibility. He's feeling bad, which is entitled to feel bad that these family members abandoned me. But you move on because it's a Yoruba proverb that people help you to lick your hand that has oil. They will not lick the hand that has blood.
Dry, yeah.
So when there is something, they would surround you. When money day, everybody is your friend. So those are the things that are playing out. And it is a norm in our society. People are your friends when you have things are good. Love makes friendship sweeter. It makes love sweeter.
There's something you raised I didn't want to forget. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll hop on that. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this issue of people being loved because of the kind of resources or monetary value they provide for their families. And Tokwe took us into politicians. I didn't want to enter politicians' net because the truth is that we see a lot of, not just politicians, let's just say wealthy Nigerians. Wealthy Nigerians take Nigerian resources, right, give for their families, but not even that, they go further. They'll build schools, they'll build hospitals, they'll build roads, they'll build stuff, and then, so to the world, they're philanthropists. The same thing, like this young man can be fantastic to his community, he can do this for uncles, for this. We are all celebrating.
But not to his immediates.
Yes, and even if it's immediate, they'll still enjoy. But the point is that we're not respecting him, we're not putting him on a pedestal, like, this is the chief, something. We're not giving him a title. And we all celebrate him. And then we ask ourselves, why are we still in poverty? And same thing, this conversation.
So that's on one side, right? There are people who are not politicians.
Yes.
They made their money genuinely,
yes,
right? And some people, there are people you call onions, in the sense that you reveal them, they spread out, but the people inside, like you that you're cooking, in the kitchen, you are the one crying because you are the one peeling the onions, right? But the people outside will be perceiving the aroma and waiting for that delicious meal that you have made. There are men in their homes who, outside, they give. They bless everybody. God has blessed them. You see it. But inside, they are not that nice. They still have family members who beg them for little things to survive, and they don't see it as an issue. There are other sides where they have tried to help such people, because we always have people who have this victim mentality. No matter what you give to them is never enough. We have that. But there are people too who they have helped, and there are people who refuse to help. They help outsiders, but they don't help insiders. Now, when things like this happen, people will say, hey, should be all the people you are being helping. They should come and lift you out of it. That's on one hand. Another part of, because there are different categories why this can happen. There are people who are unfortunately have married their enemies. Unfortunately are living with their enemies. You have a mother that is your enemy, like household enemy. They are there. Unfortunately, you have a sister who is so envious of you, who is an enemy. There are people who find themselves in such families. And when anything like this, and the only respect you even get out of them is because you're even dropping. Once you are not able to drop anymore, you now see the real character of the people you have been living with. And one of the ways that you can also check this yourself as the person who is giving and all of that is to first of all pray that you marry somebody who is your teammate. Because life can happen to anybody. Yeah. There was a point in my life where I didn't have a job. Nobody knew. There was a point in our life that he didn't have a job. Nobody knew, because we saw ourselves as a team. So we are together fighting everything the world brings to us. We are not our own competition, right? Okay, so you also must be careful. And what I advise people is, no matter how much you want to give, do not give from an empty cup. Give from a full cup. Your cup runneth over. Give from that excess, so that whatever happens, you are not beating up yourself that you sacrificed a lot to make this person who they are, and today they are not, living up to expectation, because people would always disappoint you.
Let me take this call. Samuel from Ilorin. Thanks for calling, Samuel.
Morning, Morayo.
Good morning.
I've been listening to what you people are saying for some minutes now. And then, can you hear me? Hello?
Maybe they can hear you upstairs. We can't hear you here.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, now
Hello?
I can hear you. Thank you very much.
Okay, yes. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
You see the problem you guys are talking about there is a societal thing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
In this current economy, where a bag of rice is almost 100,000, who is the parent going to appreciate more? Is it going to be a child who is a doctor and who wants a token at the end of the month? Or a child who lives in Banana Island? The society is in a big mess. The value system of this country has been destroyed already. Parents can no longer afford to feed themselves, not to talk of their children. If there's no way the society will not worship money, it's not possible. It is technically impossible for this society not to worship money. Because when you have this money, you have almost everything. Look at Nigeria now. Look at the religious center. Look at the churches. Look at the mosque. If you don't have money in these places, they won't respect you.
Thank you very much. That's an important point Samuel just made.
It is very sad, you know, the way BC puts it. And it's not generally true in most families, but you see those exceptional ones once in a while.
Yeah.
But I want to believe that, yes, even though some mothers find it impossible to love their children equally, it is for lack of values. Completely, that a family would not understand the need indeed principle. When a person has enough and thinks of you and puts you first, provides your house, puts everybody on a salary, takes care of you, and then even if that person is still indeed out of need, is rich, he doesn't need you, it is value, it is principle and respect for you to think in your small way what you can do to give back. If family members were wired this way, there will be respect. And there's no time it will change. There are always ups and downs in life. There will be a downtime for one person. There will be an uptime for one person. It is always better to always think, how can I also give? You will have one person whose hand will be higher no matter what in family. Growing up, I remember they will bring one pickup. They used to call it pickup from the village to just pack at Ojo Elegba like this. My father will start offloading. And then he'll put it in one 504 car and drive all the akokias that were my grandfather's relative. They'll be dropping yam, corn, because he's harvesting in the village. There's nothing that was fresh from the farm I didn't eat as a child. Even this native mango, everything, the likiliki came in bags. It came in bags. My grandfather didn't go to school. He sent his younger brothers to school. They were doing well in Lagos. So anytime he harvests, that's what I have. I will give my brothers. They don't have to ask. We add strong yams, fresh from the farm. So, but those his brothers, maybe, I don't know, because they're all dead now, would take maybe whatever they have and give him as well. Yeah. He looked, you know, that's how families run. But so when one person is down, you carry the other person.
I get that. But I would like us to unpack this guy's story on one side, because I think we've really exhausted a bit of it. But go to what Samuel just said. Today's society, our economy today.
Still the lack of value.
I know, we'll come back to the value issue. Today, you have two children. One lives in Banana Island, regardless of their sources. One is making a regular income, 9 to 5. He's working, you know, in an office, make 150,000 naira a month. One is very wealthy, and you value the one in Banana Island more because he's able to provide. Because right now there's no food, the economy is bad. So the question is, why is society judging the mother for appreciating the Banana Island one more? That's what Samuel is saying. You are saying it's a value issue.
Yes, it's still a value issue. This is what I mean.
And Samuel is suggesting it's a survival issue.
No. If the example you gave is even better than Samuel's own. Samuel gave two extreme. One you don't have rara, and one is living in Banana Island, he has. Of course, Mama will be going to who is taking care of her needs. But if you have two children, and what are your basic needs? The older you get, the more wiser you have about this tono. What exactly do you want to achieve with the loudness, the wealth, the glamour, the extreme, extravagance? What do you need? If one child remembers you, in fact, it is important to value the child who can sit with you when you grow older, the one who keeps your companionship in old age, than the one who sends money. Because money, you can always send. But do you buy that conversation? Do you buy time? When they grow older, I have an old person now. I know that what they need more is to see me and have conversations.
Let me take this call from Damola. Come to you, Togwe. Damola from Niger State. Thanks for calling. You're live. Oh, sorry, I lost that call. Who was going to jump in?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I feel that there are a few things that we are sort of glossing over. Of course, I started by saying that it's a value system thing. So we know that it's a value. We have, as a country, our values we don't have defined values that we used to have. Our culture doesn't push it anymore. Our culture now is changing into prioritizing the person that is taking care of you financially. But until we become grateful for the intangibles, we will not we won't see much of it. Everything you're saying came from intangibles. Everybody that has achieved something first had to look within themselves to achieve it. So I believe that the intangibles are the basis. Be grateful for the people that are not giving you money, but they're giving you their time, they're praying for you, they're counseling you, they're consoling you, as much as you're grateful for the person that is giving you money. Because at the end of the day, yes, money will give you comfort, but it doesn't solve your problem entirely. If you understand how the money comes, like where the money, I'm talking about money tomorrow, if you understand where your money comes from, even when the channels close, because you know the source, you can always regenerate. So that's why I am not going to be stuck on the channel that is bringing in money today. If God is using one child to bring in money for me today, I know that I'm not stuck on that channel. If that child does not become my source, because I know my source is God, I have added value, I have sown, I would always reap. I might not reap from where I sow, but I will reap what I have sown. So this man's story, he knows he has sown with the purest of intention. If he doesn't reap the gratitude from where he has sown, he would always have people that will be grateful to him and will support him in other ways. Now, to the story of Morayo and the parent that is favoring somebody, that parent is shallow. That parent is glutton. You are led by your stomach. You're not led by your values. You must love all your children regardless of what they can do for you, regardless of who they are to you, self. Because your parental love should be unconditional. It's not about what you are giving me. It's about who you are. I love you for the substance you carry. And I'll always project that on you because the expectation I place on you is what I will get. So when you see somebody that does not have money, as in a parent doesn't have, and we've seen it. I've seen examples of, you will see parents that will tell you that the person that is taking care of me is the one that I'm talking to. You will disrespect the older sibling because of the younger one is the one paying you. You are changing the game. And it will not work.
Ibrahim from Satellite Town, thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Okolawo.
Yes,
engineering together in school.
Wow.
I hope you remember Ibrahim. Coming to today's topic, actually the society is not helping, the economy is not helping. So that's on one side. On what Madam Nima said, that we as family, maybe you have been collected from your uncle. I just say it. I think from day one you've been collected from your uncle, and you have never used one day to say, let me give my uncle this. Right from you were young till you graduated, you are working, think of, what would I give my uncle? What would I give those who have been giving me? Nigerians some of us are that selfish, and we keep depending on this man till we die. So we too, we should learn to give back. For those who don't have, mothers will not discriminate. Because hands are not equal. So you must always think somebody will be wealthier than another person. So that you can't, there's nothing you can do about that. But how will you relate so that somebody will not feel bad?
Yeah. And
don't come to our traditional rulers. They give, titles to only those who have money. No matter what you are doing, some people are doing gambling and they will be giving them titles. And we have professors who don't have much. They don't give them traditional titles.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. You're going to jump in.
Yes. So I personally do not believe it's because of poverty. Because there are poor people who have value, who understand what life is more about. Life is not based off of the material things that you have. And that's where a lot of us miss it. We define you based on what you come with, what you have, the name that you have made, the cars that are following you, the clothes that you wear, the hair that you... We define people based on material things that we see, things that are perishable. And then we lose the essence of that individual. And even if the world defines you like that, yes, it is not the job of your parents to define you like that. A parent is supposed to find that intrinsic value every child carries and understand that these children are not equal, they can never be equal, but they all have the value that they bring to me and the home and to the name of the family. And you nurture them in that regard. In a family, you may have one who is doing exceptionally well financially. There's one who has better emotional intelligence. There's one who you can call at any time. He abandons everything he's doing to come and nurture you. That is you cannot buy that with money. So, but we like to just, because this one is giving me, and is a matter of greed.
Superficial.
Yes.
Yes.
Because if you ask me, it's only in this part of the world that we are looking at our children as our retirement plan. Other parts of the world, there's nothing like that. As we are working now, we are saving for our retirement. So when your children, whether they give you or not, you are comfortable. The little that they give to you is just for prayers. Which if it comes, if it doesn't come, it doesn't come, it's okay. You are praying for them. You are giving them. You are helping them to even start up their life. You allow them to flourish. When they now start giving to you, you bless God for it. But it's in this part of the world where, as we are training you, we are counting when you will quickly finish marry and come and start training us back. And that mindset needs to change. That's the only way we can go out of this, where you as a parent, you have raised these children, but you are self-sufficient. You have worked hard for your money. And also, let me call a little bit of government. The basics of life takes away some of these things that we grab. If you check the mentality of people who have the basics of life, there's good schools for their children, there's good transportation, there's good Medicare, and all of that. They are not into grabbing, because they have the basics, and that's where you even see more creativity. Somebody can afford to stay in the lab and say, I want to research these ants for 15 years till I find out what makes this ant tick. Now, because you get light, and now because you chop belly food, and now because they beg for food, right? So, because we are depraved, for whatever reason, we see these resources being carted away, and we are struggling to, I would rather push Topper down so that I will get something. I would rather push Nima down so that I will get something. We are now even bringing the fight to our family members, our friends, our neighbors, because now it's dog eats dog, survival of the fittest. So
now we have stated the problem.
We need to begin to...
We have to wrap up very soon.
I feel it's very important. They gave an example. A wealthy person and you have poor people around you, you have a responsibility. It's a key responsibility. It's not easy to lift people that don't want to be lifted. But if you understand the system, you must find a way to help your family members. It is not a thing of pride to say that I am the richest, no decision is made if I'm not around. It is a shame upon you if no decision can be made in your family in your absence. You are a poor leader. You are actually poor in your mind. If you think your money buys you so much relevance that you want to keep on shining as the biggest person, how you know you are a superstar is when you stand. All your siblings stand. They don't even know who has money or who has more money. Everybody is shining their light.
There's a saying that I absolutely love, and since I've heard that saying, it has always guided me. So that you're so poor, all you have is money.
Yes.
Like when somebody is just all you
only
have,
thing,
there's
your
nothing
only bragging
you have.
rights.
You ain't got nothing. It's just money. And what is money? Because the truth is that once you have the basics, really,
Yeah, but on the flip, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Mo was talking about solutions, and because we know how this mindset is raised. When you start to say to your child, you'd have gone to London. Is that my brother that refused to help me? Or your child is saying with a relative, all you do is, did they feed you? How many meats did they give you? You said, groom an entitled person. This person grows up, makes money, or, is used to receiving and doesn't know what it is to give back or how to respect back. The way I was raised, the person that helped you when you fall down, you must show some level of gratitude.
Yeah.
In fact, lifetime of gratitude. The person who raised your kids. In our marriage list, they will put the person that plaits your hair. In my village, the woman who plaits your hair, there's a list for her money that must be paid. So show that you owe more than money back to the people who come together as a community to raise you. So when a person grows up like that, that person is now down. The community comes together
to raise him up.
Change our culture of values.
Yes.
Go back to valuing
value of
people.
Gratitude follows need. So you must always be able to grow like that to give back. And that's how we must.
Yeah, we have to wrap up very soon because our Valentine, it's still Valentine's season. No? This one we're talking about this serious matter. So it's our Valentine's season. It's our final Valentine episode. We're going to be going on a break shortly. But I think in a nutshell, really, is that we need to restore the values in our system. We need to, our eroding values must be, we need to reignite the essence of who we are and not to put money over value and appreciations of our loved ones. And I love the analogy PC gave on how it's now a dog-eat-dog world where all of us are now just hustling because we don't have the basics, right? And now we're trying to push each other, and now we're pushing our families just to be able to get some basic necessity of life. I think it's a good analogy for us to take home today. Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, but I have to first of all thank once again our sponsors. It's always important to thank them for this lovely set. Venture Furniture for the rug, the table. I'm still going to thank them later, but it's just a good. I love the couch they sent to us. Blesses Art for the decor, and also Royal Hug Surprises. Thank you so much for all you've done, especially this week of Valentine's. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guest. We'll be right back.